The sun is shining over the manicured lawns of the suburbs, but the light is artificial, a flickering projection of a reality that has already been compromised. This is the replica trap. It doesn't start in the dark, oil-stained alleys of the harbor or the sweat-soaked shadows of a penthouse. It starts in the medicine cabinet of a 3-bedroom house with a white picket fence. It starts with a search for safety. The architects of these families, the fathers, the students, the workers, are looking for a way to patch the anxiety of the matrix, to fix the stress of a collapsing world. They reach for a blue pill, a Xanax or a Percocet, bought from a digital ghost on a screen, believing they are buying a solution. They are actually downloading a terminal virus. This is the neural betrayal at its peak. The pill is a masterpiece of deception, a replica pressed in a basement lab to look exactly like the pharmaceutical original, but inside there is no relief. There is only a fatal dose of ISO or fentanyl, a molecular hitman designed to execute a total system format. The moment the user swallows the safety, the architect of that home is uninstalled. The frontal cortex is bypassed, and the respiratory system is handed over to a foreign script that has only one command: shut down. The visual rage of the suburbs is a haunting display of contrast. You see our signature character, hunched in that grotesque, impossible fold, slumped over a bright yellow plastic slide in a pristine neighborhood playground. The mask is cracked, stained with the grime of the reality he tried to escape, while the sun beats down on the colorful, sterile plastic of the perfect world around him. This is the suburban void. The contrast between the clean, wealthy environment and the rotting biological hardware of the victim is the ultimate proof of the Matrix's failure. The system has turned the sanctuary into a morgue, neuron by neuron. If you are standing in your clean kitchen, looking at your screen and feeling that cold, creeping realization that your safe world is a lie, you must recognize the glitch. The walls of your home are not a firewall. The status bar of your life is being monitored by a parasite that wants your motherboard. You must act now. Descend into the description immediately and secure your defense. My product is the tactical key to your survival, the only way to purge the corrupted data before it takes root in your soul and deletes your biography. Choose your path now before the replica trap snaps shut on your future. For the few who refuse to be sheep in this chemical slaughterhouse, my main channel, AOXE3 Global, is the only source of the forbidden code. I show you how to find power in the shadows and how to reclaim the strength that society has systematically drained from you. This is where the architect becomes the storm that clears the ruins. The primal grounding of this crisis is the total loss of identity. In the suburbs, names and titles mean everything, but to the reagent, you are just a data point. When the replica takes control, your history, your dreams, and your family ties are moved to the trash bin. You are no longer a father or a son. You are a node in a state of terminal defragmentation. You see the blurred figures of normal people walking their dogs past the playground, completely indifferent to the biological wreckage on the slide. They believe they are safe because they haven't encountered the glitch yet. They are wrong. The virus is already in the garden, and the soil is made of lies. The scent of freshly cut grass and expensive mulch is being overwritten by the cold, metallic smell of a system failure. The chemical rot has arrived in a blue wrapper. You are watching the death of the American dream in real time, one counterfeit pill at a time. The status bar is flashing red across every picket fence. The replica trap isn't a mistake. It's a structural feature of a world that has decided the user is no longer necessary. The sun is high, but the motherboard is going dark. The sun is still high, but the shadow across the playground is growing longer, colder, and more permanent. We are now dissecting the pharmacy of shadows, the industrial scale engine that powers the replica trap. This isn't a kitchen sink operation. This is a global Machiavellian supply chain designed to exploit the psychological cracks in the suburban motherboard. In high-tech laboratories across the border and in hidden basements across the city, hydraulic presses are churning out millions of blue and yellow data packets. They aren't pressing medicine, they are pressing system exit commands. The precision is terrifying. These replicas have the right weight, the right imprint, and the right color. They are designed to fool the architect's eye, to bypass the visual firewall of the user. But the chemistry inside is a brutal, uncalibrated mess of ISO and industrial fillers. There is no quality control in the void. One pill might do nothing. The next pill from the same batch will overwrite your entire nervous system in 60 seconds. This is the ultimate neural betrayal, a game of Russian roulette where the gun gun is disguised as a bottle of relief from your nightstand. The visual rage of this process is the sight of the signature hockey mask lying face down in the pristine sand of a suburban park. The mask is cracked, revealing a glimpse of a grey, cold temple, a biological machine that has been permanently unplugged by a piece of chalky blue dust. The contrast is a hammer blow. The expensive, high-definition camera of the modern world focused on the dirty, tattered hoodie of a user who thought he was just taking the edge off his stress. The system doesn't just take the edge off, it takes the entire motherboard. If you are sitting in your clean, quiet room and the hum of the air conditioner is starting to sound like a countdown, you need to recognize the infiltration. The pharmacy of shadows has already reached your zip code. Your sanctuary is being scanned for vulnerabilities. You must act with Machiavellian speed. Descend into the description right now and secure your tactical firewall. My product is the only instrument that can help you defragment the chaos and clear the corrupted scripts before your BIOS hits a fatal error. Reclaim your territory. For the elite few who refuse to be processed like industrial waste, my main channel, IOXI3 Global, is the terminal where we teach you how to seize power in a world built on deceptions. We show you how to return the strength that the Replica Trap is designed to steal. This is the architect's counterstrike. The primal grounding here is the realization that the system has turned your own survival instinct against you. You feel anxiety because you are an architect living in a collapsing structure. Your brain is trying to warn you, but the Replica Trap offers a fake patch. It tells you to silence the alarm, and when you silence the alarm, you lose the ability to see the predator. You see the suburban mothers pushing strollers past the playground, their faces masks of forced happiness, unaware that the very medication in their purses is a molecular Trojan horse. They are nodes in a network that is being methodically liquidated. The scent of the suburbs, the blooming flowers, and the chlorine from the backyard pools is being dominated by the ozone of a short-circuiting society. The Replica Trap has achieved a total penetration of the family unit. The status bar is dropping to 20% across the residential sectors. The pharmacy of shadows is the only business that is growing, and its profit margin is measured in the deletion of your neighbors. The sun is shining, but the shadows are now part of the structural code. The trap is set, and the motherboard is waiting for the next blue pill to execute the final command. The sunlight in the suburbs has become a spotlight for a crime scene that covers every square inch of the neighborhood. This is paranoia in paradise. When the Replica Trap snaps shut in a community, it doesn't just delete individuals, it fragments the collective social motherboard. The architects of the suburban dream, the people who spent decades building walls of privacy and layers of security, now realize that the enemy didn't climb over the fence. It was invited in through the front door, disguised as a blue pill of comfort. Now, every neighbor is a potential node of infection, and every medicine cabinet is a ticking biological bomb. The visual rage here is the decay of the perfect image. You see a luxury SUV idling in a driveway, the driver slumped over the steering wheel, his hockey mask reflecting the digital glow of a dashboard that is still reporting "System OK." The car is running, the air conditioning is humming, and the GPS is ready to guide him home, but the user has already been formatted. The contrast between the high-tech, leather-scented interior and the grey, necrotic skin of the driver is the ultimate Machiavellian irony. The system provides the comfort, but the Replica Trap removes the soul that was meant to enjoy it. The glitch is no longer a rumor, it is the resident in the house next door. If you are watching the shadows lengthen across your pristine lawn and you feel the weight of a world that has turned your own home into a trap, you must execute the sovereignty protocol. You must descend into the description right now and secure your instrument. My product is the only tactical firewall that can purge the suburban virus from your life and allow you to defragment your reality before the status bar hits zero. Reclaim your code. For those who refuse to be collateral damage in this silent format, my main channel, IOXI3 Global, is the only terminal where we reveal how to extract absolute power from the ruins of the middle class. We teach you how to return the strength that the replica was designed to dissolve. This is where the architect learns to rule the void. The primal grounding of this stage is the total collapse of trust. You look at your friends and colleagues, and you don't see people, you see potential glitches. Everyone is hiding the same secret, a dependency on a replica that is slowly overwriting their BIOS. The neighborhood watch has become a network of mutual surveillance and shared paranoia. The scent of the suburbs, the blooming roses and the charcoal grills is now tainted by the metallic, ozone-heavy stench of a societal short circuit. You are living in a high-definition graveyard, waiting for the next system failure notification to echo through the cul-de-sac. The Replica Trap has successfully turned the sanctuary into a cage. The hierarchy has been inverted. The user is now the fuel fuel, and the reagent is the architect of the new world. The status bar of the community is flashing red, a warning of the final defragmentation that is about to occur. The sun is setting behind the perfect rows of houses, casting long, jagged shadows that look like the claws of the parasite. The motherboard is shivering. The replica trap is no longer a threat. It is the final, unyielding reality of the garden. Block 4. The neural siege, the liquidation of the family. 1,700 words. The sun has finally dipped below the horizon, and the suburbs are now bathed in the cold, artificial blue light of 1,000 flickering screens. This is the neural siege. The replica trap has moved from the individual to the family unit, the core processing unit of the social matrix. Inside these identical houses, the synthetic ghost is executing the final format of human connection. Parents are staring at their children through a veil of a replica-induced apathy, and children are watching their parents dissolve into shadows of themselves. The bias of the family has been corrupted, and the user is being deleted one room at a time. The visual rage of the evening is the interior of a perfect home. You see a dinner table set for 4, but only one figure remains, our signature character in a cracked mask, sitting in the dark, staring at a single blue pill on a fine china plate. The contrast is a scream, the elegance of the dining room versus the absolute biological poverty of the masked figure. The scent of the house, the vanilla candles and the wood polish is being overwhelmed by the sour chemical smell of a body that has stopped processing life. The replica has become the only guest that matters. If the silence in your own home is starting to sound like a digital hum, and the faces of your loved ones look like low-resolution textures in a failing simulation, you are under siege. The Matrix has identified your family as a resource to be harvested. You must act with the cold logic of an architect, descend into the description immediately, and secure your defense. My product is the only firewall that can block the neural siege and help you reclaim the motherboard of your life. Do not wait for the final override. For the few who have the will to stand as a fortress in a world of ghosts, my main channel, Ioxy3 Global, is the command center. There, I show you how to seize power when the world is crumbling and how to return the strength that the replica trap has stolen from your lineage. This is where the architect survives the night. The primal grounding of the family liquidation is the death of the future. The replica trap doesn't just kill the present, it formats the legacy. When a teenager in the suburbs takes a replica to study for a test or to escape the pressure of the Matrix, they aren't just taking a pill, they are handing over the master keys to their biography. The status bar of the next generation is hitting absolute zero. You see the flickering blue lights in the windows of the houses across the street, each one a signal of another motherboard being liquidated in the dark. The contrast is absolute. The American dream on the outside and the replica nightmare on the inside. The hierarchy of the suburbs has been permanently overwritten. The parasite is the head of the household, and the human user is just the energy source. The scent of the night, the damp earth and the cooling asphalt is the only thing that feels real anymore. The status bar is at 5%. The neural siege is almost over. The replica trap has cleared the house, leaving behind only the cold, silent masks of a civilization that forgot how to defend its own code. The dawn light that hits the suburban streets is no longer a promise, it is an autopsy. The shadows of the manicured oaks stretch across the pavement like the elongated fingers of the parasite, clutching at the remains of a dream that has been completely overwritten. This is the suburban reset. The replica trap has finished its primary cycle. The houses are still standing, the cars are still in the driveways, and the sprinklers are still pulsing with rhythmic mechanical indifference. But the user has been permanently removed from the motherboard. You are standing in the middle of the cul-de-sac, the only architect left with a functional BIOS, watching the final defragmentation of your neighborhood. The visual rage of the morning is the absolute terrifying stillness. You see a neighbor's front door hanging open, the morning paper lying on the porch, while inside, the synthetic ghost is the only thing moving. The contrast is a blade, the external image of paradise versus the internal reality of a morgue. You look at your own reflection in the window of a parked luxury sedan. Your signature hockey mask is caked in the dust of the safe world, but your eyes, those dilated black voids, are finally beginning to contract. The architect is executing the Exodus protocol. You realize that this paradise was never a sanctuary. It was a high-density processing plant for human resource material. If you are looking out your window right now and the perfection of the street feels like a cage, understand that the suburban reset is your only chance to escape the format. You are the the last line of code that hasn't been corrupted. You must act now with Machiavellian precision. Descend into the description immediately and select your instrument. My product is the only tactical firewall capable of purging the replica virus and allowing you to defragment your reality before the status bar hits 0. This is your exit from the trap. For the elite few who refuse to be deleted in a clean, quiet room, my main channel, AOXE3 Global, is the only terminal where we reveal how to extract absolute power from the ruins of the middle class. We teach you how to return the strength that the replica was designed to dissolve. This is where the architect learns to walk away from the burning garden. The primal grounding of this final reset is the cold, hard realization of sovereignty. To survive the replica trap, you had to become more than a user. You had to become the virus that infects the virus. You had to learn to look at the blue pill not as a solution, but as a weapon, and then you had to choose to drop the weapon. The hierarchy of the suburbs has been destroyed. There are no more leaders, no more families, no more citizens. There are only those who were deleted and the one architect who decided to reboot. The scent of the morning, the damp grass and the ozone is finally clearing the chemical stench of the replica from your lungs. The contrast is your new weapon. You see the world for what it is, a series of nested traps designed to harvest your will. But once you see the code, the traps lose their power. You turn your back on the cul-de-sac, on the perfect playground, and on the pharmacy of shadows. You walk toward the edge of the development, toward the unmapped territory where the rules of the matrix no longer apply. You aren't leaving behind a home, you are leaving behind a corrupted server. The status bar is at 100%. The suburban reset is complete. The replica trap has cleared the sector, leaving behind only the empty shells and the cold, silent masks. But you are moving. You are the architect of the exodus, carrying the master keys to a new, unyielding reality. The sun is rising over the highway, and for the first time in the loop, the light is real. You are back, and this time, you aren't seeking comfort. You are seeking the power that the void provides to those who know how to navigate it. The game in the garden is over. The hunt in the wasteland begins.